Hey guys, here's part two. I'm going to go through the center section that I missed on the last pass and see what I can see. It's the giant Mac again, called Big Mac. Alright, let's go through the center section now. There's a Lisa 2. There's some other Macs. Actual arcade PCB replica, Pac-Man. Very cool. TRS-80. All kinds of TRS-80 stuff. Commodore 64 with the Atari joystick.
Real pseudo 3D.
Oops, looks like my thing is overheating again. Hold on a second. I think I screwed up the balance. There we go. Yeah, much better. Never seen that guy before. Panasonic. Crazy. NEC PC. It's an open source CRT monitor. Pretty cool. What is this? Oh, it's a RISC PC 600. Never seen one of those. Look at that. Spectrum with the built-in tape. You Spectrum guys can tell me. I don't know if the original had a built-in tape. I thought it was smaller. I don't remember. There's Chicky Egg. RISC OS Pi, Raspberry Pi. Look at this thing. Acorn. Holy smokes. Random British Computers. Here's the old Spectrum. Photo printing here with a Nintendo camera thing. Super Famicom with a camera. Never seen that before. Pocket camera app. So they made a Game Boy camera too. All kinds of game systems here, Dreamcast. PlayStation 1. Sega Saturn. Nintendo Super Famicom. Mario Paint. Socrates. Never saw Socrates. It's the original Famicom. I played with one of those in Japan in the 80s. My one of my host families had one. Odyssey. Magnavox Odyssey. Crazy. PC clone. Hyundai PC clone. Plotter. Rolling plotter. It's actually punching out copper. Ken Spong will like this. Amstrad C, look at that. I've seen emulators for this, but never saw one in person. And dead for the Apple II. Aquarius. Wow, look at that. I've heard of Aquarius. Looks like an Intellivision clone with that kind of paddle. Crazy. And there's that Apple I clone again with the Pac-Man. Let's go check another section out. Telebit. I've got an acoustic coupler modem there for your handset. Wow. Look at this thing. Acorn, Amstrad, Sinclair. Acorn Electron. Never heard of this one. Spectrum with the joystick. ZX8L, AI, 8L, or 81, not sure. Got that great 8-bit sound though. Looks like a homebrew version of it here. Friends here had a Timex Sinclair, but I never got a chance to play it. I just said their dad used it, and it had games they didn't like on it. And that's my only exposure to the Sinclair when I was a kid. Exorcisers.
And like I said, if that
Exorciser 1A.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Wow. This whole thing laid out on a board, piece by piece. This is the super nerd section for those that really understand computers. Never heard of that one either. Tiny little thing. Oh, that's the Sinclair. That's the one my friend's dad had, supposedly. Sinclair 1000. Triple Ace. Micro Professor. Oh, it's a Z80. Look at that. I know it's in a lot of video games. Arcade video games use Z80. ZX Spectrum Plus 2.
And then it'll go over and it'll like, basically what it does is every time it starts, like it'll service several points and then notes the different disparities. And then now, generally, this is the first layer. So if you do get into it, there are things you can do to make it not so
Never heard of that one. Shack TRS-80 expansions. They've got their custom monitor. ZX81. Some variants of it. Micro Ace. Texas Instruments home computer. Looks like King's Quest there. 8-bit flops. Got the Sinclair. A different version of it there. Those great controllers. Texas Instruments computer. Space Invaders looks okay, but those controllers look like crap. Some Workstation. Sun Spark, so I saw a bunch of those in our computer room for all the DBA Oracle nerdy folks. Oh, there's a back station. Wow. Running VMS. HP Workstation. SimCity for Unix. Look at this keyboard here. Crazy. Oh, SGI. I remember seeing this in a movie. This special display. I was in Congo. You watched the movie Congo? Where they're going to find those diamonds for laser use. She pulls this out of her backpack or case or whatever. It's a Silicon Graphics flat panel hooked to this. Of course, they don't show this part of it. I think in the movie you're supposed to think this is the whole computer. It's really just a monitor. Again, it's cool to have some Silicon Graphics stuff on display since this room we're in was actually the building where they used to make them, or at least sell them. All right, that's the center table, looks like. Seen just about everything. So, there's some graphics display there on the TRS-80. Got a frame problem here, it's getting cut off. I already showed all that stuff, so... this one I didn't do yet. This little Macintosh island in the middle. So let's see, what do we got here? Flutter 700. I have one of those somewhere. The old Kensington trackball. That's the Apple 12-inch display. Not the 9. Oh, is that the 14-inch? I think they called that the 14-inch. The 12-inch is a little bit smaller. Got a dedicated keyboard there on a G4 Cube. There's a Lisa 2. Don't see a lot of Lisa 1s. There are a lot of Lisa 2s here. It's got that extended keyboard on the old mouse. That's the 128K. When I got my 120K, it was worth $3,000 just by itself. So.
And so this will support these hard drives.
They originally had a separate keyboard and trackpad and a daisy chain, RJ11. And eventually had a floppy drive.
Was an option. That is that's an aftermarket
ancient trackball.
Turbo mouse.
That's a Kensington mouse.
Yeah. Here, look.
These hard drives are like 20 meg hard drives for a big old box. Very expensive.
And if you want to see there's an ADB one hooked up to the quadro.
Mac Plus, old standby. Remember I said before I had this at college. It cost me $300 used. And I did 2 years of college work on a floppy-based Mac. No hard drive. This is a slightly newer version of this old-style mouse. But this one's actually ADB, not DB9. Let's see. Drive there. And the SE. SE is interesting because you had I think it was SE30 had the PDS, the processor direct slot. Here's SE30 right here. So you could either plug in a video display for color display out, or you could do an accelerator. You had one option. So there's a Daystar expansion for PDS. My friend had a fancy monitor on his SE30, but it still wasn't the fastest computer, so the games look really slow. Wow, look at that thing. Let's see one of those. The Classic basically is a revamped Plus. So PowerBook 180, so that's the color PowerBook. 170 is the non-color. Or maybe there's a 180C. I thought the 180 itself was color. I don't remember. Classic 2. Slightly better. Now they got the egg-shaped mouse. And they got the Ergo keyboard that splits apart. And the color Classic. And then you had this, with Ergo, you had this extra section here with all the hot buttons as well as the keypad and D-pad. Pretty cool. Got a optical base. It's like a 2014 PowerBook right there. I have one of those. Cost a lot of money back then. I gotta ask him about this pad thing here. What's this thing right here?
That's an Apple Texter.
What is that for? I never seen it before.
So this is like a dealer diagnostic device.
Oh.
So you take all these cables,
So you test your ADB, you test your.
all these cables.
Okay.
You plug it into the back of the thing, and it basically hijacks the SCSI.
Oh,
loads test
interesting.
programs onto it.
Okay.
And it basically, it's kind of useless because it'll tell you your logic port is good,
Yeah.
or your logic port is bad. And typically, obviously, if this was 1992,
Yeah.
if you were a dealer, you'd call up Apple, they would send you your logic port, you'd place the logic port, and you'd go about your day. Nowadays, it's kind of useless because
Yeah.
if I have one of these that has a bad chip on the logic port, I want to know what chip is failed.
It won't tell you that.
It won't tell you.
It's pass fail basically, is it? Yeah.
I found this at my work, and I was like, "Can I have it?" And
That's
they're like,
hilarious.
Because
Yeah.
so I work for Computerland.
Okay. So Computerware would have had one of these as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So Computerland obviously is not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
My boss started a Computerland franchise in 1981.
Okay.
The best possible time to start a Computerland franchise because they had the exclusive rights to sell the 5150.
Oh, okay.
In like 1990, they converted it to a place called System Source. And right
Okay.
now, System Source is a computer museum right over there.
Well, like this was Silicon Graphics, and now it's a museum. So.
System Source still does computer stuff.
Yeah.
But I work for the museum.
Yeah.
But I was working for System Source for a bit, and I found this in the storeroom, and I'm like, "Can I have it?" And they're like, "We don't need it."
That's cool.
But it is a little bit useful because I use it for like formatting hard drives and doing stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, so it has some commands in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly just they look at this weird thing.
It is. I thought that's a weird ass keypad.
Yep. And so it's got these little ROM modules. So you plug these in.
Oh, look at
and
that.
So see, this is CPU test for this is the Mac LC,
Yeah.
LC2, and Classic 2. And this one is for 2CI, 2SI, 2VI, 2VX.
Oh, that's crazy.
And Performa 600.
So if you put the wrong one in, does it just fail, or does it do some weird shit?
No, it doesn't fail because if you turn it on,
Yeah.
it's got a 9 volt in it. So you could just select Classic, SE, SE30, 2,
Okay.
2X. So you just select which one you want to do.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that anywhere. I'm surprised I don't see more of them with these kind of shows and stuff.
They were very uncommon because they were sold to dealers. And if a dealer is done with something, they just get rid of it.
Throw it away.
Yeah. Because, so we just got in a bunch of System 360s. They're really cool. But most System 360s released. So when they were done with them, they went back to IBM. And here's the problem with business grade hardware is when a business is done with something, they just get rid of it. This is a personal computer. My mom bought this with my dad in 1981. And when they're done with it, they just stick it in their basement.
Yeah.
So it's finding consumer grade stuff that's way easier than finding business grade stuff.
Yeah, sure.
That's why I just did an exhibit on type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
And somebody was talking to me about X-ray equipment. But X-ray equipment would be owned by a hospital.
Yeah.
But an insulin pump would be owned by a person. So a hospital would just get rid of it. But a person might stick it in a drawer somewhere and forget about it. So it's a lot easier to find consumer grade stuff.
Plus, they can write it off when they get rid of it and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So that's why finding a lot of business stuff is really hard.
The guy's doing a presentation today who couldn't make it. They showed his documentary about the Lisa and stuff, and they basically said, yeah, at some point, John Scully came on and said, yeah, basically at some point, we had to just dispose of countless amounts of Lisas because you can't sell them cheap. You have to dispose them.
Oh, he's the Apple guy. Okay. And I think they disposed of them to Sunray Marketing.
Well, they literally just destroyed them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is sad because that's a write-off.
Yeah,
But you can't legally. It's almost like food places. They can't give away food at the end of the day. You have to throw it away.
There's a documentary on YouTube about Sunray Marketing.
Yeah.
Who are the guys who got the leases from Apple, and Apple basically went in and said, "Sorry, you've got to crush all of them." It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's an interesting documentary.
So wasteful too when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't want to, it could be spare parts for fixing
I'm
stuff.
not a fan of that kind of stuff, but business is business.
It's business, yeah. By the way, this was color, right? Or was it a 180C that was
That's
color?
the 180C. This
Okay.
is the black and white one.
Right. Okay.
But it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
grayscale, and it's backlit, and it's active matrix.
Active matrix,
Give
yeah.
it a sec to boot up.
I have a 170 that I got from work a long time ago.
And the 170 is great. I love the 170, but the 180, the screen is so pretty to look at.
It is nice.
I just got in 3 180Cs. I'm gonna make one working 180.
Oh, beautiful. Are they hard to find working?
they're very hard to find working because the screen has caps that leak and the plastics go there.
Where the hell do you find batteries for a 170? They're impossible to find, right?
So somebody was making reproductions. I was actually about to show you. So somebody was making reproductions, but they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Basically, you have to resell the battery. Here's the problem. So
Can you fake it? You open it and make a fake one?
yep, brand new.
Okay.
So here's the problem. I have got the brand new battery. It's
Yeah.
charged up, and I'm like plugging it in, and I'm like, why the hell is it not charging? And why is it not booting up the battery?
Yeah.
Because the terminal's corroded off from the latest machinery.
Ah.
I open it up, and I'm like, there's no terminals there.
Because this era of Mac was weird. If the battery's dead and it's in, it will not boot. Even if it's on power.
No, this one will boot without power.
That one? Okay, one of these was, maybe it was the 170 or the 140, something like that.
100 and the Mac Portable.
Okay, that was
The
it.
100 is effectively a scaled down Mac Portable.
Yeah.
The Mac Portable has these lead acid batteries, and it's this huge turd.
The portable's one. I saw one over there somewhere. Someone had one.
Yep, I have one too, but it's a piece
Yeah,
of shit.
yeah, yeah. And massive trackball. And,
Yep, every time I fix it, it breaks again a week later.
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I got real lucky. I haven't worked corporate stuff for so long, and all these companies getting rid of the Macs for years. Other than having like hard drives and weird stuff like that, I have like almost like that guy over there, almost one of everything.
But this is one of everything.
Yeah, and several of Mac 2s, 2FX, 2CI, 2SI. I don't have that little eMate thing. Someone had one over there. They were selling eMates.
There's like a dozen of them in consignment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I got
crazy.
one of those off of eBay. Those need caps, obviously. If you
it's just a
have-
Newton OS, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have these things, you know that they need caps. The Newton also has like 2 caps in them, so I would recommend doing that. But yeah, I have all those too. I've got a 2X, 2FX.
What is that one down there?
That. So this is the stuff I bought.
Yeah.
This is the Deck Professional 350.
Oh, wow.
So it's an LSI chipset. So it's a pp11 in a microcomputer box.
Okay.
And this one has the exceedingly rare graphics options.
Okay. Is it like an alpha or way older?
It's older than the else.
Okay.
So it's PDP-11, 1982. The hard drive's shot, unfortunately, so I've got to fix that. But it's like basically this is like a CAD workstation from 1982.
Wow.
Because it's got all these graphic options. Like the person who's going to be spending $10,000, $15,000 on graphics, they're doing CAD.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got a box of all the software.
Oh, shit. You bought that here?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Well, how much was it?
350.
Oh, and it's working, supposedly?
The hard drive doesn't work, but everything else I think.
Okay.
And I think I haven't tested the floppy drive, but I have spares of those. But there's also the stand is electronic, so there's a button.
Oh, nice. It goes up and down. Yeah, yeah. Sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That alone is worth something. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. I've always wanted one of these, and this was just the total package.
Yeah. Do you do CAD stuff at all? Or you do?
I don't really do CAD stuff, but I think the vintage CAD programs are very interesting.
I saw a bunch of SGI stuff around and it was tempting because I was going to SIGGRAPH when they were selling indies for $5,000, and that was a deal.
So those SGIs in there are a bit overpriced. One of my friends is an
Really?
SGI nut.
Yeah.
But I really want the fuel, but I'm not paying.
I've
for
never
it.
seen the fuel. Is that the last one they made? Kind of?
It's I think the second to last one they made.
Okay.
It's the last MIPS one they made.
Okay.
They made 2. It was like this Hezro and that one.
Okay.
Were the last MIPS one, but then they switched to IT now.
Okay, interesting. But the reason I do a lot of 3D stuff, or I used to do a lot, and Alias Power Animator, one license was $15,000 for Silicon Graphics. So $5K for the system, $15K for the software. Like, what the fuck? No wonder this place went under, because they were doing Windows NT boxes for a while to run soft homage.
Yes. Yeah. So they had 2 machines.
Yeah.
They were trying to do PCs.
Yeah.
So the Visual Workstation 320,
Yeah.
and then a later one. But the Visual Workstation 320 was interesting because it had custom graphics, but it was a PC, and you could
Oh,
run
yeah.
Windows 2000 on it.
Well, it was funny because in the early version, they were running soft Windows. So they could use hardware, Silicon Graphics, so they could eat their own dog food, right?
Yep.
But they would run Microsoft Windows products in the office. Well, what a waste.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I have some Sun machines that have actual hardware to run Windows.
Really?
It's not running it through software. It's like a PCI card that has a Pentium on it.
Is it kind of like the Orange PC stuff for
It's
Apple?
basically the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I had one of those once. It never worked very well.
I always want one of those. I have a really early version of it, but I want one of those.
Orange 386, I think it was. Yeah.
Yep, I want the later one. They make orange like Pentium.
Oh, they do?
Card, yeah.
Same size card, everything?
I think that.
Or is it really fat?
It's a PCI card, So
Okay.
it's a bit later. I don't think it's that big.
Okay, because the 386 is huge. It's like an ISA
Yeah.
kind of thing, but new bus, you
Because I
know.
have a 286 one made by AST.
Yeah.
It's a 286, and it takes up 2 new bus slots. So it's big.
Wow. Did you ever do the dual SLI new bus, the 3D stuff?
No, I haven't had any of that. I don't have really crazy new bus
Actually, maybe
cards.
only PCI was SLI. I forgot, but
At PCI is SLI. Like I
Yeah.
know a friend of mine did like Voodoo 2s in the Mac.
that's it, yeah.
But I don't have any like really crazy new bus cards really.
Yeah.
I have some like CPU expansions. Like that Quadra is got a penny or a PowerPC in it.
Oh,
so-
nice.
But nothing like really crazy like that. I have more microchannel cards that are really weird. Like I've got a SGI Iris Vision for microchannel.
Really?
So it's the Iris chipset for PC.
Okay.
Really interesting stuff. I might do that next year.
Was there much to do software-wise with that thing? Is it?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
You probably have to do custom stuff with it.
I remember go to the SGI booth, and they would have just these boring driving simulators. There wasn't much like game stuff for it.
Yeah, they didn't. Well,
More of a development box,
yeah, you
graphics.
Really, you weren't buying an SGI Iris Vision for $5,000 to play games with.
Yeah, but that's what the public wanted to do, you know. So.
I'm sure there probably somebody made a game for it or ported something, but I don't think there's anything I can find.
Is this on its way out, or did you do something to this one?
No, it's got a green phosphorus CRT.
Okay, all right. So different style. Okay.
Yep. So in 1991-ish, the owner upgraded the CRT to be green, which they went out of their way to find a low persistence screen.
Really?
They put in a faster CPU, Ethernet card, 128 megs of RAM, 2 hard drives, no floppy drive.
And why green?
There was a belief, whether it's true or not, I don't know, that the green is better for your eyes than the white.
I mean, ours are more sensitive to green. That's true.
Could be that.
But-
it's interesting. If you see this green sometimes, like nowadays, people will swap in the two because they think it looks good. But they find low, like really high persistent screens, which it looks like shit. But
Yeah.
if you move the mouse around, you can see that there's like no trailing
Yeah.
because it's a really good screen. So
No, that
somebody went out of their way to build this.
Sure.
Exactly like this. And I think it was running NetBSD.
Okay.
But I think it was like a server in
Yeah.
a closet somewhere at a university.
That's cool. I had a friend that had one of these. He put the best graphics card you could get for the PDS and ran this big old monitor. But then he tried to play games on it, and it's like choking because it's too slow.
Yep, I would love to get one of those. It originally had this in it, which is
Yeah, what is that one?
It has a 50 megahertz 030 card in it.
Okay.
So it takes it from 16 to 50.
I see. That's what that is. Okay.
But I took that out and I put in an 040 card.
Okay.
I just want to get a graphics card. It's got an Ethernet card, which I can take and leave because I
Yeah.
just got the Ethernet devices. But I'd love to get a graphics card for this.
Is that the one? They also made a 3D accelerator card or something like that at one point. Maybe it wasn't quite 3D, but it was a coprocessor. Was the Daystar as well? There was a
Daystar made a lot
Rocket.
of
Oh no, Radius Rocket. I think
that
was
was
the one.
Radius.
Yeah, Radius.
That was cool. But there's a
Yeah.
guy over there who has a bunch of Radius rockets in
Oh, he does?
in Mac 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got like 4 in a Mac 2.
Wow.
I
Can you
just-
can you use more than one?
You can use them all at the same time and have them each running a different instance of macOS.
I had no idea they could do that.
Yeah, you should go see them. He's
Was
running
it
5
was that
versions.
intended or was that just just? That's crazy.
It's intended.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
I always thought it was just a global thing to make it faster.
No, it actually can be used as a separate instance of macOS.
That's nuts. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff here.
Yeah, we'll go check out that guy. It's that one, the Mac Hacks.
Did you buy the cubes that way or did you modify it?
The one is stock.
That's a stock G4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one was modified by somebody in like 2005,
Okay.
and it's not working this morning.
Oh, really?
It's an operating system.
Is it both of them or the original one that had the chipping problem that they made to scrap the idea of the cube? Because it kept cracking and chipping or whatever. The acrylic was never strong. There's a whole bunch of bullshit in the news about it when they came out, bad press about it.
I don't remember that because all of my cubes that I've owned have been solid.
No problem? Okay.
No problem.
This is something I always read, but it's, again, I never saw it. So I think the weirdest one I have is a flower.
Oh yeah.
I got that from Workers. Like I said, all the stuff I got, literally work was throwing away. I didn't pay a penny for almost all my Macs except for the Plus I bought for school, which is $300.
Yeah.
But and then that Lisa too. How was that hard to come by?
Oh yeah, they're hard to find. They go for way more than they're worth.
Like 2,000, 3,000?
Yeah, if that's like eBay, if it's working or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that Lisa's sell for way more than they're worth.
Yeah. How about Lisa 1? You ever seen one of the Lisa 1?
Oh yeah, there's one of my works.
Really? Okay.
There's a prototype.
But I don't see any here at all. Like,
Yeah, no, because they're $100,000.
oh shit, really? Were they that different?
They're that rare.
Okay.
Mostly so ones converted. That's why.
Okay. But was it? This was faster,
No.
better built, or whatever?
No, it's a different floppy drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I like the little Lisa script thing on the front. That was kind of nice.
Yep. Yeah, that was only on Lisa 1.
Okay. And also the what was the other thing? I don't see any Apple III's around here. Anybody have any Apple III's?
There was a couple in consignment. I have one, but I haven't seen any around here.
Was that true about the drop thing?
Yeah.
What a silly idea.
So the drop thing, I don't know if Apple actually told you to do it, but I can tell you that doing the drop thing
Works.
does fix it. Because mine, if I leave it running for like an hour,
Yeah.
it'll start getting artifacts on the screen. If I hit the side of it really hard, they'll go away. I have to resolder a bunch of stuff.
And it's just because they didn't put a fan in it.
Basically, and it's also 28 pounds of cast aluminum.
Could they put more ventilation in it? Maybe would that have helped?
But I think that they were trying to make it like something to do with the EFI or something like that.
Oh, right.
But they probably could have. I think the Apple III Plus has a fan, but that had a dozen problems. It was.
I've never seen a 3 Plus.
They're very rare. They only made it for like a couple months. There's
fact-
one at a museum.
In fact, the first time I saw over there the Apple 2 Plus or whatever it is.
The 2 Plus is very common.
Not 2 Plus, 2. What's it called? 2GS Plus or something? What other one of the flat one over there on the far side?
2C Plus.
2C Plus. Yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, my friend had a 2E for the longest time, and he finally sold it to his neighbor for nothing. I said, dude, you should have kept it. The friend who had this with the crazy upgrades had every slot filled on his 2E. He had the 5 megabyte hard drive card, the modem card, the graphics card. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, he went nuts for that fucking thing. But it was fun because when that Stop the Madness emulator came out, we spent a whole afternoon at his place and took every game he had and converted it to STM things so we could run it on a Mac. And then I could run on my Pocket PC. There was an Apple II emulator for my Pocket PC for a while, so I was playing Karateka on my Pocket PC. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, yeah, this stuff's great. I love it. I don't have any of my stuff running or maybe in the best shape even, but just having it is kind of cool. One day I'll maybe try to set them up. I bet it's a major nightmare to bring all this shit though. And you test it all first to make sure it works.
Exactly, that's what I do. I want to make sure everything was working.
Do you have everything kind of bundled so that you know that keyboard and that mouse and that keyboard and that mouse?
Not really. Certain machines I keep the keyboard and mouse with, but I know what goes to one system.
Yeah. Because that's the weird thing. This era versus this, I forgot. This is newer, right?
That's newer, yeah.
But the same basic idea where the power button was up there.
Yeah, exactly. They're all compatible. I can take that and put it on this one.
Over there, it's all ADB, yeah. And then, was that true about ADB? When you hot plug it, shorts very easily?
It can, yeah. I try not to hot plug ADB.
Okay, so
You can fry stuff together.
have you had that happen?
I have not had it happen, but I know somebody who has had it happen.
Okay, I got lucky, but I was very careful after I heard about that.
Yep.
So maybe I just avoided it, but for years I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
didn't
and I
know.
just try to avoid it.
Yeah. That's good. So you got all this shit today from the...
I got all this week because
This
I've been
week?
here for a while.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's some good stuff over there. I just don't have any money today, so
Yep. Yeah, I already spent all my money on this stuff.
But it was fun walking through that room, especially that one room with all the Macs. There are a whole bunch of power books and a whole bunch of weird other stuff in there that I've never seen before. And
A lot of cool stuff for sale over there.
yeah.
I just don't want to spend any more on it.
How would you rate this? I missed last year's. How would you rate this to last year's or year before? Is it getting better or worse?
It's usually getting better.
How about the rooms where you buy stuff? Is that getting better?
Simon is better this year because one of the guys is selling like half of his collection.
Oh, wow.
But everything else I say is the same as last year.
Yeah. Cool. I don't remember this room being open. They used to do some in the cafeteria.
I don't remember that.
That was like years ago. Yeah.
This is where we were last.
Last year? Okay. Big Mac is hilarious too. I love that. How did he do that? Do you know? Is it actually a Mac board inside?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would have to ask him. I haven't talked to him yet.
It's crazy. And he has a Pippin over there, which is wild. That's kind of, you don't see those very often. Well, he's not working.
I
So.
could probably fix it.
You have one?
No, I don't know.
Would you get one, or is that too much?
I would get one if I got it for cheap. Everything here I got for a reasonable price. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going out of my way to spend tons of money on this stuff.
What's the craziest you spent on a Mac? Probably that Lisa?
The Lisa was like $450.
No.
That might be the most I've spent at this table. This is like this was free. This I got with a massive lot of stuff.
Oh, wow.
That was like $50. I think I paid like $300 for the color.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Project was like $125.
Yeah.
I don't really spend too much on most of this stuff.
How about, do you have any, these, like, so that's an original hard drive, or was that changed?
This is a Blue Sky.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh, those guys, okay. And does that work on any Mac, pretty much, or is that,
any Mac that has SCSI it works on, plus other systems.
would it work on an Emacs 2 sampler, do you think?
What was it?
You know, the sampler, like I use SCSI, like an Emacs 2, would it work on that?
It might. If you go onto the repository,
Yeah.
there's a compatibility page.
Okay.
But I've also tested this with stuff that is not on the page and it had it work.
Okay.
But it might work. It might not.
It's just an SD card on there, or is it?
Yeah, just a secret.
Yeah, okay.
And they make other versions of it.
How much are those?
So this was 35.
Okay.
If you wanted to assemble it, it's like 50.
That's still pretty cheap, because the SD for samplers, the little SCSI with the SD cards in them, they're automatically over $100 or more. So if I get a cheaper version, I'd get that.
It might work in it. I have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
But I have a bunch of these. So there's one of these in here. In here, that one has an original hard drive. That is an original hard drive. That one has a Blue SCSI.
Okay.
That one has a Blue SCSI. You see that one has one on the back.
Right, okay, yeah.
That one's original. So those are the original hard drives.
Wow, and they still work.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That one is original hard drive. That is original floppy drive. It doesn't have hard drives.
So what's your trick? You barely turn those on?
No, I turn one.
Really?
I don't have this stuff to not run it, so I just use it.
No, I know, but I mean, how long do those last? That's nuts, right?
Yep.
Are they getting noisy?
No, they're not that noisy.
Okay, because I had a friend that sounded like a jet engine, like, when it spun up.
Those might be the profile drives. The profile drives are really noisy.
Okay.
Those are low. I want to get two more because it'll support
Yeah.
up to 4.
Wow.
It's a diagnostic device.
Thanks again, man.
So if you were like a repair shop,
Cool stuff, cool stuff. All right. We've seen everything. You said some guy over here has... this is the one with the radius rockets in it.
It's cool. It's called mission control.
Yeah. Radius is leaning hard into
Yeah,
the rocket
yeah.
theme. You
Yeah,
know?
Oh, that's very cool.
So I missed this when I came by earlier, but a guy told me you had all these radius rockets running at once.
Yep.
I didn't know they were task-oriented. I thought it was a general system board.
It is a general system. Yeah.
But you can also run different OSs on it, right, or something like that?
They all run System 7.1 because there's very specific patches to
Oh, there are,
Apple to
okay.
make them communicate.
Right.
But I'm just running Mac Relics, an installation of Mac Relics on not only the host, but on each of the 4 of these.
Wow.
And Mac Relics itself comes with a tool called Nexus, which just listens on a folder, in this case a shared folder that I have, for,
okay.
hey, have you given me any jobs to do?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it does it, and then puts the results in the same folder for the host to pick up.
So, because originally these are crazy money just for one, right?
Right. Well, they're crazy money just for one now.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, so
Yeah.
how much would they be? If you,
Nowadays, I've seen one go for 4 digits,
wow.
low 4 digits. Like,
Because I was getting into 3D a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, ooh, radius rocket sounds like a cool idea. Even though it's not a 3D processor, it's still a co-processor.
right. I've got friends of mine that use these as 3D render
Yeah,
nodes.
exactly. Yeah. So I was thinking about it, but they were, I think they're only like, I don't know, $500-600 back then. They weren't that bad.
Yeah, not that bad.
But-
I mean, brand new when these
Yeah.
came out were $14.99.
Yeah.
But I still think that's probably a deal when you
Yeah.
consider, am I going to buy a Quadra 900? Is that going to be cheaper, more expensive? Even when you factor in, am I going to run a whole bunch of Quadras or just put all these cards in one machine?
Yeah.
You save a little bit of
Well, that's
power.
why I was trying to do net rendering for a while, and I had got a bunch of free Macs from work because of getting rid of them.
Oh, there you go.
So I put USB cards in them because they didn't have USB.
Right.
And I put them on a KVM,
Oh, there you go.
and I put them on the same network, and
Yep.
I put the render nodes on there, and
Yep.
and at the end of the day, it's like it didn't save that much, right?
Trying to get more Macs.
Well, it's just it's that whole
Diminishing
cost benefit
returns.
analysis, that kind of thing. It's just
Yeah.
and just a nightmare setting it up.
Right.
And sometimes you get a fail, and then your render's not complete because it's missing chunks,
Right. Yeah.
and it's just so it's a cool idea at the time. Now it's better to do that with you could trick your multi-core systems to do net render with give each node a core
Right,
or
right.
several cores
I'll play around
and do
with
it
it.
internally that way instead of a whole wire shit.
Yep.
But I
Like,
mean,
no, you've got a CPU here. It's
Yeah.
a CPU with one core, but here it is.
but these are all original and running great. So how long do these things last? I mean, they got to wear out at some point.
I don't know. Mine work great. Although the only time I ever turn them on is at VCF. So.
Right. I'm gonna say.
Otherwise, they just kinda sit
It's like the guy over there had a bunch of old 20 meg hard drives.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck long do those last?
Right.
Right? Because they're still
Right.
working. He goes,
Right.
oh, I have them on all the time.
I'm worried about the hard drive inside this thing.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Because you can't
It's
replace
still-
it.
No, they don't make those anymore.
How about the little blue scuzzy things or whatever? Would that work in it?
Not with
There
this.
at least an
because-
SSD briefly for a while.
Well, there's the Cameo. You can get the Cameo, and there's also the IDE file, and
Yeah.
that's based off of Compact Flash, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's the X Profile, which is a more expensive version of the IDE file. I haven't; those are really expensive, so I haven't done that. And I
You could
think,
afford the Lisa though.
well, the Lisa is only $500.
Wow, that's a good deal.
We bought it like
It came with the
300
mouse
years ago,
too.
right?
And the
Do you
mouse
have a
might
Lisa
suck.
One?
No, I'm not rich.
I didn't know they were that crazy. Someone said $100,000 or something like
Those
that.
things are crazy
Yeah.
expensive. Although somebody stopped by and said that they saw one go in the Netherlands recently for like 24.
How many of those are left, do you think?
Recent ones?
Yeah.
Very few. Probably fewer than Apple ones at this point because Apple offered to upgrade them all to these twos for free.
Oh, that's why.
So I
Okay.
think everyone jumped on
But they
that.
could still have the front end and all that stuff. They just won't be internally Lisa ones.
I mean, if you kept the front end, I guess, but Apple wouldn't.
Oh, they changed that?
changed
Oh,
it,
they
yeah.
did, okay.
Yeah, because this has got the Sony thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
We're trying to do it the other way on this Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is a modern Mac, but I put the old software in it, so I downgraded it to a prototype.
Oh, so it's 400K equivalent.
Not even 400K. This is pre 1984. This is from the summer of '83 when Apple was just like, let's try the Sony thing instead of the Twiggy drive.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Because I have a 128K.
This
in
is,
fact-
this is from 6 months prior to
In
that.
fact, mine was kind of cool because I went to the same high school that Jobs and Wozniak went to.
Homestead?
And the senior all-night party in '85, my brother was graduating. He decided to stay. He was going to leave, but you had to stay to get the grand prize.
Right.
The grand prize was a 128K donated by Wozniak to the school.
That sounds like
And it's
fun.
$3,300 computer for
Yeah,
free.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, cool. Because we never had a home computer. I was at the friends' houses.
That's awesome.
And I still have it. It still works.
That's awesome.
I had to tweak the drive a little bit because it gets all gunky.
Right, yeah.
And the mechanics are not great.
Right. Well, the lubrication in there, it's been 35
It's ancient. Yeah, but the floppies amazingly still work last time I used them.
That's great.
And some of my old projects are still there, although I should try trashing them. Shit, you know. But yeah, I've never heard of that. So the original.
So I took the
Twiggy
ROM
Mac.
from the prototype Twiggy-based Mac.
Why was it called Twiggy? What is that?
That was the
Acronym?
code name. Yeah, it was the code name.
Oh, it's a code name, not acronym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Named after the model because it was slim, I guess.
Okay.
But because I don't have a Twiggy drive here, I just patched the ROM to replace the Twiggy disk driver with
Okay.
the Sony disk driver, leaving everything else the same.
What device is this?
This is a floppy emu. This is something that bigmessofwires.com.
Oh, really?
Put this together.
Okay.
It's based on a Belmont.
Okay. How much are they?
These, 129.
Oh, wow.
With the case and everything, I think. Don't quote me on that, but check
But,
them out. Yeah.
but you'd need that on a Mac because it's designed to work on a Mac.
Basically, yeah. And I did that with this one because I found that putting the old ROM in here, I had the floppy drive in here, but it would do like what an Amiga does. It would go, like looking for a disk
right,
drive.
right,
Like,
right.
I don't want to wear out my disk drive running this all day, so like I'm going to do this, which is why I have the cable going in there. This only
Interesting.
works with an internal drive. It doesn't work with an external drive. They hadn't figured that out yet. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, this was like super early. Which kind of gives you a signal that they did a lot of work in the run-up to shipping that. And
Yeah.
It's crazy how much. It's just
So this would only work on a 128K type? Or 512 maybe?
It's a plus.
Oh, it's a plus.
It's a plus.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I patched it so that it would work with the pluses 1 megabyte.
Oh, that's right. 128 is kind of more yellow, right? It's the yellow color. Mine is anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the sun. It's not this yellow, but it's somewhere in between.
I have a 128 at home that is this color.
That yellow, yeah. Mine's close to somewhere in between.
Apple beige.
Yeah.
Beige.
Exactly, yeah.
Apple beige.
So, okay, so plus on down.
So the plus and because the hardware for this was essentially finalized in August of '82.
Okay.
The logic board anyway. They still have to figure the flappy drive out, but the logic board was finalized in '82. So everything leading up to the plus is essentially the same hardware. So the software is different. The software is maybe expecting different configurations, but knowing that, I thought, well, I could probably get the prototype running on more modern machine because it's the same hardware.
And this Twiggy ROM's easy to find online.
They are now, yeah. The Twiggy prototypes were dumped and the software was preserved about 10 years ago.
Would this work in VMAC?
There is imported mini VMAC that supports the Twiggy ROMs, yes.
Cool. Okay, cool. I'd like to try that.
Yeah,
That's a little easier.
yeah, a little bit, yeah. Well, when they were dumped 10 years ago, that was the only way that you could
Yeah.
play with this. I'm like, nah, that's not as fun as playing with it.
Yeah, this is more hardcore.
I want to have it available at VCF. People can play with this. Maybe
Yeah.
haven't heard of this.
So what is, other than the fact that it's a bit older, what is it really, what's the difference?
Big difference is mostly in the state of the operating system at the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little differences you can notice. Like, for example,
Like when this one loses power, does it also default to Steve Jobs' birthday?
It never knows what time it is. So
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about it. But you notice the window dressing is a little bit different.
Oh,
They changed it
yeah.
to the pinstripes early on.
Yeah.
There's no Apple menu yet. It's the at menu.
Okay,
right?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no special menu. You got the file edit instead of view. It's arrange. The interim menu became the special
Oh yeah, this has a
menu.
range as well, right?
No,
I thought I saw it on the video, someone was showing it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, this
Yeah.
operating this
Yeah,
office system
yeah.
does have an arrange menu. Yeah, but it doesn't have a file menu. It has a desk
menu.
menu, right?
Desk
This one
menu.
has a file menu. Oh,
I'm getting this funny refresh on the screen here.
yeah. Here, let me briefly change this so that it doesn't. Okay. I don't want to have to There we go. Okay. So there's that. Also the watch cursor. If you get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
to kick in, it's an hourglass. It's
Oh,
like
really?
Lisa.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
It's like Lisa. Yeah.
And Windows.
And in Windows, yeah. Well, that came later.
Yeah.
A number of things don't work. Like for example, you can go here and it's like I wanna rename stuff, but
Oh, you have to choose it.
yeah, it's like rename.
Rename the top one, yeah.
Yeah, you have to do
Interesting.
it that way. You
Okay,
can't do it
yeah.
the way that the Finder
But the
normally does.
icons are legit. And
Yeah, well, except these I think are programmer art because I think they didn't get the chance
Oh,
to
I
do
see.
the final icons yet. Because you can see up here if you pull this down, you can see the date code on there, August of '83.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so running on a ROM that's maybe.
But
just
you have a clip, you have the scrapbook, you have
scrapbook. Yeah, we've got that. I think we don't have clipboard. We can't
No
access
clipboard.
the clipboard yet. Also, I think if you close this out, and I say.
Oh, so how'd you share between documents then? There's no
It's still a
clipboard.
copy paste. You just
That still works, you just don't see the
clipboard is
clipboard.
per application. There isn't
Oh,
one
okay.
in the Finder.
There's no global clipboard.
Yeah, so you can eject the disk, and it doesn't leave behind a disk on the desktop. It's like, oh, the Finder wants you to put a disk back in. Okay, well, let me go ahead and do that then. Go ahead and load that up. There we go. That's back. We still have the anonymous disk. That was removed before they.
Oh, really?
shipped. Yeah. Instead, you could just drag a disk to another disk, and yeah, it just had the little. The
I've never
shadow.
seen that. That's-
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, you do have the scrap. It was called the scrap.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing in it
The
right
scrap,
now,
yeah,
but it
okay.
was on the desktop. It wasn't part of the edit menu. So yeah, I got that. Let's go ahead and open up the disk again. And let's go ahead and fire up Mac Paint. Let's open up, Mouse.
So the software is pretty similar to the Mac Paint, Mac Write.
Mac Paint is very close to
Very close.
what eventually shipped, yes.
Was there a Mac Draw at this time or no?
Mac Draw would come later, yeah. The apps that ship time were Mac Paint and Mac Write. Yep. And you can see the window dressing here, the hourglass cursor.
Oh yeah.
And you can notice as soon as this comes up, the menus. You've got File, Edit, and a menu that was renamed to Goodies in late '83 for reasons that should be obvious.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. They're a little socially conscious in '83. Yeah.
It's like the AIDS candy. Remember that? The diet
Yeah,
candy?
Yeah.
And then you hear
Watch-
the ad, it goes, try it. You want to lose weight? Try AIDS.
Try AIDS.
It's like, what?
Oh, I got this. I got even worse. Check it out. AIDS, you want fat bits?
Yeah.
I hear AIDS can help with fat bits.
Oh.
Edit that out. But otherwise, yeah, they called it Goodies, which,
Wow.
is a term that kind of dates the machine a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's aged a bit better than AIDS has.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's
I
that.
forgot they had fat bits.
Yeah. So you can blow things.
Because I used to use Super Bits. So Super Paint?
Yeah.
You ever use Super Paint?
I did use Super Paint.
Super Paint was killer.
Yeah, Super Paint was Silicon Beach software. Charlie Jackson's still around. He lives down in San Diego now. But Super Paint is what got Silicon Beach acquired by Aldus. Aldus did PageMaker.
Right, and then
they got bought
Adobe.
by Adobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remnants of Super Paint might be in Photoshop today. You don't know. Yeah. Full Paint was another one. That was Ashton Tate. They did Full Right. I think everybody wanted a piece.
Did Macromind have any stuff from the old Macs, or was that only much later?
Macromind as an entity didn't, I think, come into existence until 87, 88.
Okay.
Prior to that, Macromedia, what became
Macromedia.
Flash,
Yeah.
had its
was
origins.
Director and then Flash.
Well, it goes even earlier than that, because what became Director started out as a project from called Video Shop.
Oh, Video
And
Shop. I remember
was
Video Shop.
Jonathan Gay's project.
Right,
And
right,
Jonathan
okay.
Gay was a wonder kid. He did a lot of the programming behind Dark Castle,
Right, yeah.
and Airborne,
Dark
and
Castle's
Video
great.
Shop, and he did. The other thing, Video Shop. I think Video Shop actually was Macmind, but it became before Video Shop was something called Future Splash Animator, and they used that for. I want to say maybe Dark Castle, but Future Splash.
Yeah.
You take away the future splash, and you get Flash.
Ah, never heard of that.
You wonder where that came from.
Interesting, yeah.
It's come from Future Splash. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think Jonathan Gay is probably making tons of money now, doing
Oh, I bet.
probably similar stuff nowadays.
And now Flash is so buggy, no one touches it. So.
Yeah, well, it's HTML5 now.
Yeah. That's cool.
But hey, while it lasted, Flash
Yeah.
was big.
Oh no, it was great.
Yeah.
But I was a huge Director fan before Flash was available. I love making little cartoons in there
Yep.
and just stupid shit, you know. And, then,
Yep.
and open my games that weren't locked, like Spaceship Warlock.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see how they made the
You can see all
game.
the lingo code, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, now I can try to make some, and then I got too lazy. So. But I mean, I literally had recipes in there because lingo scripting is the toughest part. I'm not a
Yeah.
programmer, but because that's what they used to do that. You still had to go to all the different areas to find out how they linked it all.
Right.
But the code was there,
Right,
and the
right.
graphics are there, and you could go make your own version of Spaceship
Right.
Warlock
Yeah.
to learn.
Or just suck the Spaceship Warlock and you
Yeah.
just cheat.
Cheat.
Change the code.
But some games are smart; they locked
Yeah, I
the
saw that.
files.
They did that after the game they did after Spaceship Warlock, Total Distortion. They locked all that
Oh, they
down.
did? I haven't
They
tried with
did,
that one.
Yeah. I even have a beta version of that game, and I'm like, oh, can I poke in that? No, they locked this too.
I love Hellcat. Remember Hellcat?
Hellcat, yeah.
Hellcat was great. Where like
Yes.
you have a choice where you could either give the bum a prize or not give him a prize,
Right.
and then after a while, there's a guy who looks just like one of my friends at the time. This kind of a fat, goofy guy go, and he's the devil.
Right.
And every time you screw up enough, then you have to go visit him,
I see.
and that's the Hellcat thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was kind of a stupid game, but it was fun. They were supposed to make a Hellcat 2 that took place in Fritz Lang's Metropolis
Oh, that one
with
was
beautiful
sick.
architecture and stuff,
Yeah.
but they never did it.
It's too bad. All that stuff's public domain now. You can
I don't think
totally
it did
look
well, so it just
Fair enough.
they advertised it, but it never took off.
I miss that genre of games. Though. I feel like it could totally come back with VR
I mean, LucasArts
now.
had some of that with
Yeah.
less video.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
more just click and go, like Sierra,
Like quick
LucasArts.
stuff. Yep.
I was just at the retro gaming thing this last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
so I was playing all those old crazy Indiana Jones games and other
California
stuff.
Extreme?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Were you there? Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy. I forgot about it. I I went last year, but I forgot like 2 years before, and then they had COVID
Oh, right. Yeah.
and stuff, so I missed a bunch of it. But man, that's fun.
Yeah. Arcades nowadays just kind of make it.
No, it's shit. Although the Japanese table flip game is awesome.
That's true.
That's a pretty new game, and that one's pretty cool.
That
So
one's
again, it's
I
not
think
much.
They've still got it over there.
They didn't have it this year, but they didn't have the Taiko game either. But they had some other ones that were kind of wacky.
The arcade at Mag West every year is also got some really good selection.
Where's that?
Mag West this year is the offshoot of Mag Fest on the East
Okay.
Coast. But this year, last year it was at the DoubleTree by the San Jose Airport. This year it might be at the same place.
Oh, it's coming.
but
It's,
coming up. Yeah, it's in September.
It's called Mac West.
Mag West.
Mag West.
Mag West. Music and games.
Oh, what's the music?
Just music made popular by video games.
Oh, okay.
People that perform covers of it. And
Oh,
stuff.
okay. They, like the guys they had at the thing doing
Kind
like
of,
chip
yeah.
tunes and
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
Japanese J-pop kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
and-
just the whole festival is around that.
Oh, okay. Mag West. When is that? Next month?
Next month, yeah, I think late next month. Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta-
14 to 16, something like. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, I'm glad you told me. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The only time I've been to
First time
that
last
thing is
week
for
was-
the. They used to have the action figure expo there.
Oh, really? Huh.
It's called the Humdinger or something like that. It was some, and my brother used to go. It's vintage toys, action
See, my dad's
figures.
a big toy collector. I
Oh
can
man,
tell you about it.
all those goddamn Happy Meal toys and stuff that people throw away.
Yeah.
They're worth big money at those stupid things.
bet, yeah.
And all the Star Wars figures, of course,
Right.
Star Trek, Transformers, dolls, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
A lot of stuff's kind of I don't want to touch that,
Right.
but it's cool to see it.
Yeah.
Like weird toys based around restaurants and games and
Franchises long.
all
since
kinds of
disappeared.
franchises and stuff you never even thought of. Like, why did they make a toy out of that?
Right.
It's kind of creepy, right? Or like, well, they commonly had a lot of those like plastic figures, or no, sorry, woven bodies with like a plastic head.
Yes. They did
And
a lot.
those
of
are
stuff.
creepy. Those,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
and because the body's all like stained and like nasty looking.
That's a good point. I was thinking about like the plastic toys where they give them real cloth outfits.
That too. Well, the Star Trek did that with the Mego.
Yes.
They had cloth outfit, and the old Star Wars.
Yes. My
Had
dad's
cloth.
got a ton of Imperial Guards.
My friend had every one of those fucking things growing up. He had the alien doll where you pull the jaws.
That's
He had the Shogun Warriors where the fist goes flying out.
right.
He had all the vehicles from Star Wars. Like, and I didn't even know about that thing where you had to order away for that platform, and you populate that. You ever see that?
No, I don't think so.
I've learned about that years since, but that was the thing. If you're really into Star Wars and you got the Bantha newsletter,
Right.
you could buy the platform advertising all the upcoming figures
Oh,
for the original run of the figures.
That's
And so you go every month you get a new figure and you put it on your little thing. I've never seen anyone with it,
Yeah.
but I've heard about it. But his parents just bought him whatever he wanted. He had the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter.
What my dad would do is he would just buy dozens of Stormtroopers and he just has them up against the. He has
Yeah.
dozens of those original ones. Like, Dad, each one of those is like $25
And,
now.
and they had those variants too, like where the lightsaber comes out of the arm.
Yeah.
The expensive ones are the extra, like a triple layer one.
Oh,
It's double or triple layer. Instead of just one layer, there's like a boop, boop.
right.
And those are the ones that are super valuable. It's the Toys That Made Me. Have you seen that?
Toys That Made Us. Yes.
That Made Us, yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That talks about
A
that
lot
shit.
of the Nico stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have the Star Trek. My neighbors had it when I was a kid. The Star Trek rotating set with the transporter.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's a vinyl fold-up set, so it's designed to be portable.
Mm-hmm.
After I saw it on some show, I bought one on eBay and had all the figures. It has all the furniture, but nothing matches the original. Like there's artwork that goes on the wall, these little changeable screens.
Mm-hmm.
They're just random sci-fi artwork. Have nothing to do with Star Trek. And
Well, not that the original Star Trek artwork.
no, and the furniture doesn't match Star Trek furniture at all.
Right. Well, even on the show, like they had that
Yeah.
one thing that Spock would always look at was just like two concentric.
Oh, yeah,
circles.
spinning.
Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and they had that little viewfinder with the little spinning wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that doesn't mean anything. It just looks cool.
I love that show. But this is cool. This is a cool idea. Are you the first one to do this?
For this ROM, as far
Yeah.
as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.4 is easy to do. You just copy paste the Sony driver over it, and everything matches. It just works.
Really?
So you can just do that on like on 128. Yeah, 128.
But there is a VMAC you can simulate it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll
But
check it out.
this one was non-trivial to get working.
This
I
one,
actually
yeah.
got it working about a week ago.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Labor of love.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I wanted to play with a real Twiggy Mac and I'm stubborn. So.
So this is wild.
Oh yeah.
So with this, are you getting, so with one card you get like 20% better performance or something like
So
that.
each one of these is a Mac on a car.
It is a Mac on a
Yeah,
car.
yeah. So I just have it running software that just waits for incoming batches of build jobs.
Oh, okay,
And
so-
then it gets in like, oh, I'm gonna do the work, and then it just copies it back.
So if you ran Photoshop on here, it would take a card.
Photoshop is one of the few applications that's designed to take specific advantage of this.
Okay.
I don't use Photoshop.
Oh, okay, but if you so it would go across cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like there's actually a little port here that you could get another accelerator.
But
on
like,
my accelerator.
but like some fancy paint program would be one card, and then
You could do that,
and
yeah.
then word
One-
processor would be another card.
Yeah, one of the most common uses for this, from talking to friends of mine, is they would use it for 3D rendering software.
Yeah.
So you'd install a copy of each one would be a render node.
Like Stratus Studio Pro,
Yep,
something like that.
Yep. Electric Image runs on these. Infinity would run
Yeah,
on
no,
these.
I know all about electric image, but no one ever runs it. I never see it anywhere.
What do you know about Electric Image?
I mean, the last time it was officially used was in Star Trek Generations, I think. The particle effects. John Knoll did the particle effects for that.
In the actual film,
Yeah,
They use
yeah.
it For previs for episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
'Cause
that doesn't show up in the final.
like the scene where the wine bottle in space hits the ship.
Yep.
That's supposed to be electric image.
Interesting. Huh.
I suppose John Knoll did it, and he wrote electric image, or he's part of it, or
Well,
something.
he's part of it, yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
part of
Mark
it.
Granger did.
Mark
did
Granger,
both of
okay.
it, Yeah. He's now at Otoy. as well.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
Doing that for virtual reality now.
But
so.
but everyone talks about 3D surround now, like it's like all this ambisonic stuff.
Yeah.
There was 3D audio in electric image because I played with it. You could have virtual mics and speakers
Right.
around the environment.
What version?
I know I had a cracked version at one point. That's all I could afford it.
You and everyone else.
Exactly, because who could afford it?
Yeah.
I have
Don't
everything.
say
Was,
Hoffman that he'll be upset.
everything was cracked. Stratus Studio Pro. I got Mist. And I go, oh, they use this for Mist, and I immediately got Stratavision, Stratus Studio Pro.
Nowadays, you can get Stratavision for free, and it includes missed assets.
Now I have to check it out. It still works.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
They use it as like sample.
OS
assets.
10. It works on OS 10.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I think it's for PC at least. I think
Okay.
it's for, like,
Oh damn! I gotta go check
yeah,
that out.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Because that was the first time I was using like Ray Dream Designer, Infinity, all these other silly, even POV Ray, which is terrible,
Right, yeah.
awful, right?
And also Swivel Pro.
All those things. But later on, as I got into more of the Mac emulator stuff, revisiting my old days, you ever play Clayscape? That's
No.
fucking awesome. Look up Clayscape.
Place.
I've never heard of it. I found it on I think it was on Macintosh Garden.
Oh, of course it's on the point.
Which had I'm going back there saying, I've never seen this, and I'll go try it out, and I go, where was this when I was looking for this shit?
You know who
Right?
developed it?
No
Okay,
idea.
I'll look it up.
But it's beautiful.
Doing games for
You know, like
charity.
Metaball stuff you get in Ray Dream Design and Stratus Studio Pro. It's like virtual clay, like a Morphium.
Oh, cool.
It's like
Alright.
that, but
Yeah.
more usable. Because a Morphium you had to work on shapes
Right.
and do weird shit with these
Right.
canned
Morphin
shapes.
was high, I think, right?
It was a play. It was Play Interactive,
Okay, that's right.
which
Play
I think I
eventually
bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool because I discovered a trick on Morphium. I was using it on PC, and I had a Wacom tablet. I always use Wacom tablets, and I had the Graphier had the mouse and the stylus, and I had the mouse sitting on this thing, and I was using the stylus, and I bumped the mouse by accident, just not thinking about it, and it rotated the object while I was carving. So then I go, well, now I can do them both at the same time. I didn't know the tablet could handle both inputs. So then I was doing really weird stuff where you rotate the model and carve around it, these weird designs, and making these impossible shapes. And then you have those morphing tools. So I got to the point where I can make a decent conch seashell from a sphere in about 10 seconds.
Nice.
And it was legit, like a good, not biologically accurate,
Right, yeah,
but
but-
good enough to put in a game or something like
Right,
that,
yeah.
with no effort. Use the spikes, use the twirl, use this little concave thing, boom, 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 on the stylus, and you're done.
Yeah.
And so again, nobody ever used it as a shit program. It actually wasn't, but it had use cases.
Yeah, yeah.
But Clayscape was really fucking cool.
Playscape. Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out.
And there were a couple other ones I found on there that I'd never used before.
I remember when I was doing escape velocity experimentation back when that game was popular. Mechanisto was a 3D package I played there.
Mac?
Yeah, for the Mac.
They have it on the Garden?
Probably, yeah. If they don't, I'm sure I have a copy of it somewhere. But it's what all the plugin authors use to do the chip designs for the escape velocity.
Really?
It was, I worked with a lot of primitives like speeds
Yeah.
and and stuff, but it was just really dead simple. Just put these things together.
Yeah,
like
and
little
smush
Lego
them.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did a lot of really simple renders that way.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Dip my toe in those.
But I occasionally will go back because they'll add stuff to the garden I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I'll go just look at the whole list. I won't search. I'll just go A to Z, and I'll go, ooh, what's that?
Right.
And that's how I found Clayscape. I
Yeah.
go, what the fuck is
I
Clayscape?
put this on the board.
Should.
Would get a kick out of it.
Yeah. I haven't gone on for a while, but there's also some of the sites, I don't know, it's abandonware, but they still get in trouble sometimes.
The
it's
trick
not-
is to not charge money.
Well, then they don't, but they still occasionally get busted. I'm like, I'm not doing anything with this asset anyway, and people want to use it.
You never know.
And if you're smart, you see how much it gets used, and you start marketing it again and start selling it as the owner.
I think that's what a lot of folks are kind of wise
They
enough
should.
to now.
They should.
Because nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Oh, totally. And with emulators, because I have, VMAC, Basilisk 2, Sheep Shaver. I think that was the main ones.
QEMU is getting a lot better.
I haven't tried that. Is that good?
That one is great for compatibility. Because Sheep Shaver is not a great.
Sheep Shaver has no MIDI because the timing's fucked.
Yeah.
And I have MIDI apps I want to use,
Yep.
and I can't.
QEMU, give it a try.
QEMU.
Do you have?
Does it work on all the different OSs, or is it?
So QEMU supports right now 2 different types of Macs. It supports the Quadro 800,
Okay.
so you can run System 7 on
Okay.
that. And it also supports the equivalent of essentially a Power Mac G3.
So
you
it's
can
like
run OS
Sheep
10
Shaver.
now.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Well, Sheep Shaver can't do OS 10. QEMU
OS
can.
10, right.
Yeah.
But it can do 7,
QEMU can do OS 7 on the Quadro.
Quadro.
But on the Power Mac, because the Power Mac G3 can't run OS 7
Right,
anyway, it's
right.
OS 8 or later.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm using that. You can run Unreal Tournament on QEMU, which you can't do in Sheep Shaver. Now it's not accelerated. It's just
No.
accelerated, But that's still
But a fast enough computer.
Yeah.
Because I was running Boot Camp for the longest time, and then they killed it.
Yeah.
So I still have it on one of my machines.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my Macs was great because it had Boot Camp for Windows 7 or XP. I think it was Windows XP. And then I had all those emus in the Mac side, plus what's the one? The VMware Fusion
Oh yeah. I used to use
with
that.
other images on there. So I literally could run anything on that Mac,
Right.
even Linux on there and other stuff. So I mean, it was like the ultimate machine.
Yeah, the bootcamp drivers, I got Windows 10 installed on my 2010 MacBook Pro, so those drivers still work.
And when I worked at Apple for a while, I talked to one of the guys who was on that team, and he said, this is why this should be appreciated more, because they put so much work into that. It ran better than a typical Windows box does
Right, yeah.
on a Mac hardware.
Right.
So you get the best of both worlds. You get the high performance and the compatibility across the layers,
Right.
copy and pasting, sharing stuff.
Now,
Pretty awesome.
the secret that I've discovered, independently, and this has been shared since, that I try to tell everybody I know that knows what bootcamp is if you go into the bootcamp drivers and in your Windows directory, pluck out Apple MNT and Apple HFS.sys, drop those into any Windows installation, and you can mount HFS volumes. You don't have to pay for Paragon. You don't have to pay for any of these
Really?
$60 things. Apple did it for you. Copy paste. They just work.
Wow.
I have made my video production friends very happy with that.
I was gonna say I need to try that.
Yeah.
Because it took a long time for Apple to mount NTFS.
Yeah. This is the other way around.
Yeah, the other way around. But I mean, I was kind of pissed for a while that you had to go to a certain level just to get NTFS, and then
Right.
still do a third-party install.
Right.
I forgot what it's called, but there's a third-party thing.
Right.
Because my NTFS was read-only.
Right.
And I occasionally want to copy shit to it.
I don't know if the drivers Apple did for bootcamp are read write, but they're definitely at
Least
read
access.
only.
Yeah, least
you can still
access. That's cool. That's a good trick. I haven't thought about that. There was a thing for a while called, oh shit, what was it called? It was a Windows hack, and it was like a Mac front end for your Windows 95 or whatever, and it gave you an Apple menu.
Oh.
And I forgot what it's called. It gave you could load icons, sounds, Apple menu. It's still Windows, but it gave you an Apple menu, and he was so cool about it. It's not Apple at all.
Of course not.
But
Sounds copyrighted.
But because what they did was clever is they took all the stuff you'd normally have to go to 10 different places in Windows to look at your drivers, look at this, look at that. Under the Apple menu, they put them all under there. So you had one place to go and look for all your common things you would look up in Windows. The version of this, the disk mounting, the drivers, like, yeah. So that was, I said, just install it for that.
Right.
I told people that because it's free. It had to be free, obviously. And I don't know. And for a while they were doing Lindos. Remember Lindos?
I remember that. Yeah,
It was
before
like
they changed it to Linux
it was
Fire.
alive for about like 6 months or whatever,
Yeah,
and then they got.
Yeah.
So that was all this cool, and there was also Pair PC, which I'd never tried. Is that any good?
Pair PC. Do you remember the whole scandal about when Pair PC?
I don't really.
Stole it and then changed it to Cherry OS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this Fabrice Ballard did
Yeah.
Pair PC. I think he's also most famous for the FFmpeg
Okay.
series of tools.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Genius program.
Yeah.
Very brilliant. But some enterprising entrepreneur, I guess,
Yeah.
took the Pair PC code, replaced all the instances of Pair PC with Cherry OS,
Ooh.
charged $60 for
Oh.
it, and the internet was like, "No, you're not getting away with this." And so he's like, "No, this is original software." He didn't put the source code.
So he didn't get busted. The
internet.
internet went after him.
The internet went after him. He was claiming, he's like, "No, my team developed this crazy new technology." Yeah, sure.
And I
you
bet
did,
he didn't
but
edit any of the
it
files?
Came out at the same time. As,
It's all-
So what the developer did was brilliant. The next revision of the software, he introduced just a string, just a text string, and it called Spiro Multimax 3000.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just nonsense. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, yeah.
That string showed up in Cherry OS like a week later,
That's
and they
great.
called him out on it. It's like, what the heck is this? Well, and he just came up with some bullshit answer like, well, when you're solving the same problems, it only is natural to name some things similar things. I'm like, bullshit. You just copy pasted.
Got caught, yeah.
Yeah, you got
That's
caught.
great.
It was supposed to be nonsense.
That's a good Easter egg.
Yeah.
That's
and,
cool.
He disappeared shortly after that.
So because Pair PC is still around, right?
I think so. I don't think it's maintained.
Did you ever try it?
No, I never tried it. It was always too slow. So, QEMU is great.
QEMU.
I actually think Fabrice Ballard works on QEMU now. So
Okay.
we moved on from PowerPC. Now QEMU.
Is there a free thing that's almost as good as Parallels for Mac? I haven't kept up.
I mean,
They will do
if you
Windows
have-
too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
emulates
know
all
that.
kinds of things.
Oh, shit.
So it's an open source project. If you have a modern Mac,
Yeah.
look for UTM on the App Store. It's a wrapper around
Yeah.
QEMU. They know about it. But it's a nice GUI wrap around it. It'll emulate x86, x86-64, ARM. You can emulate a Raspberry Pi. You can do 68K, PowerPC, and a number of Spark.
You didn't do a Newton on that. It's an ARM.
No, not yet.
Not that old?
It doesn't go that far.
Okay,
back,
all
yeah. But yeah, it emulates all kinds of stuff. I use it for development. For if I'm trying to cross-compile things
Yeah.
with my Raspberry Pi, I'll just fire up a QEMU VM
No way.
and pretend to be a Raspberry Pi.
That is cool. I didn't know. I don't know how I heard about that.
Yeah.
Someone probably did mention it to me. I just over my head.
In fact, I think you could fire up the ARM emulator and just install Android on it and run
Wow.
Android in a VM on your Mac.
That's
Give it
nuts.
a try. I mean, it's not easy, but I'm sure it's possible. Yeah. So,
Or you could emulate Palm PC, Palm Pilot.
maybe. That's 68K. Yeah, that counts.
Is it 68K? Really?
It was, yeah. The original Palm Pilot, same processor as this.
No way.
Yeah.
All right.
They barely fit in. It's a pretty big processor,
Well, they
right?
were smaller by then.
Yeah.
Of the day.
Wow.
In about 5 minutes. Lee Felsenstein. Anybody know that guy? Anybody know where he is?
Another talk, right?
Anybody know who he is? No? Oh my goodness. You gotta know who he is. Lee Felsenstein is going to talk about the Penny Whistle Moto 3, the Moto breakthrough, in a hot auditorium in about 5 minutes.
What is he famous for?
He's one of the original Hoover Computer Club.
Oh, really?
Don't forget to.
So before the Apple II showed up at the
Yeah,
home.
lots of stuff.
Wow.
I think he's friends with Hotkey and Roz. And
Oh, really?
yeah. He's
Oh,
an old time.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to go check that out. It's in the big auditorium, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, the one is today, the guy couldn't show up, but they showed his video. It was pretty good about Lisa and all that stuff.
Oh, Dave Grealish.
Yeah,
he
he's
did the
supposed
documentary.
he's supposed to show up tomorrow. I had a plane issue or something like that. So they played part of his video, and I saw just a bit. It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen his documentary yet.
Yeah. Can you? Is it online somewhere? Do you know where you
I
can?
think so. Yeah. There was a Kickstarter for it.
Oh, really?
Copy of it, so-
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's kind of fun. They even interview Scully.
Oh, Scully's still around. He's still around.
He's
very old.
he's in his fancy house with sculptures and stuff, talking about this and that.
One of my friends actually, who's down in Melbourne, is dating Scully's daughter.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I have that connection. My lame claim to fame.
That's funny.
Yeah. Actually, he was telling me a couple of years ago about how when they started dating, like I guess he went to go meet John Scully.
Yeah.
And John was like took him over to his closet, like, do you want any of these? He's got like old Macs and like prototypes and stuff. He's like, do you want any of these?
Wow.
And he told me, he's like, why didn't you say yes?
Yeah,
Give
yeah,
them
yeah.
to me.
Yeah, say yes and throw them away if you don't want them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Take them and give them to me. I will drive down to LA and get
Because you could have a video of you receiving it from him,
Right.
and then immediately have that.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Front page of Reddit.
Because a lot of these guys are going to have these big Mac collections here.
Yeah,
I had a lot of them just by proxy because I worked at those corporate places that would get rid of Macs. First of all, they didn't throw them away because they were cheap.
Oh, yeah.
So they held on, oh, maybe we could do something with these.
Right.
So we had storage, and I went to the storage as part of our cleanup one day, and I went, these fucking Macs is everything here.
Right.
All the 2s,
Right.
all the SE30, SE, maybe a classic 2, I forgot. But and even a flower,
Oh, wow.
no
yeah.
cubes. They didn't buy them by then,
Yeah.
and no towers.
Yeah.
So I had to buy those myself. But I have this huge Mac collection, at least one of everything, almost, for free. No, I don't. That's why I asked about it.
They
'Cause-
throw those away.
yeah, that's why I asked it because I've only seen them online. I've never seen one in person. Does it play well?
It plays about as well as, first, second generation Power Mac.
Really?
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any acceleration or anything. It's just a dumb frame buffer.
Really?
Power 66 megahertz 603. So if
Okay.
you can run it on a Power Mac 6100, it's likely will work well on it. Yeah.
So what games do you have for it?
My whole thing with it is it's got built-in authentication. So if it wasn't signed by Apple, it's not going to run. At least until I wrote this.
Oh, okay.
And now you can play whatever games you want on it.
Oh, really?
I brought Power Pete because Power Pete's fun.
PowerP's good, yeah.
Power Pete's great. It's Brian Greenstone. Can't go wrong with this. One of these ones. There we go. I also have a number of CDs back there. I gotta put Doom on it. But
Oh,
Doom
yeah.
doesn't run very well on
Oh,
it.
choppy?
A little bit, yeah.
Is it too?
I think part
too
of
powerful?
it is that I insist on showing it in as big a window.
Oh, that's why.
So I think if you shrunk it.
So it's designed to be a little more chunky.
Yeah. Spectre Supreme is great on this.
Oh,
So
bet.
if you get Spectre going, that's
We used to
great.
play network games all the time.
There you go. There you go. Power Pete also runs great on this, so that's why I'm
Let's try PowerPC. I got. I played this for a long time. It's like, doesn't it go like, oh no, when you get hit him, like, oh no. Ouch, that was it, yeah.
The bad guy.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, this game is now open source, and so you can get this on your Mac or PC nowadays. They call it Mighty Mike now, which I guess was the original name. I think Power Pete's a better name.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that's screwed up. Whoa, I forgot they throw bones at you. I'm not playing with all my fingers because I'm using this camera.
Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to find a more decked out Mac too. On this one.
Oops, there's a pause feature.
Effectively 4 quadrants inside a Mac 2.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Yeah. Wrong and unnecessary.
Don't worry, I'll save you.
Now, what OS? I mean,
This is System 7.1, and including all of these are also running System 7.1. You're looking at one of the cards inside.
Too hard to play this with half a hand.
Press the green button. You
Oh, it's just
So
ouch.
it's going to say that all day because that's all it does. But
Okay.
this is more than these normally do. So that is the hack. It's getting it to do anything.
that's kind of like a TiVo
This was, yeah.
was a Mac.
It was
yeah.
it's mostly a decoder box. The idea was that Apple did a pilot program with this at Disneyland where
Eat
you
my
would
dust.
call up what movie you want to watch. I want to watch Pocahontas or whatever. And it would stream it through the network where it would be decoded here and played back on your TV. Most of the time now, if you find these in the wild, you turn them on, it lights up and you see nothing. on the
Damn, this
screen.
thumb thing
I've
is
been
not
in
good
chat
with
Steve Matarazzo
without
Mac
gripping the thing
84
fully
on
here.
YouTube, and he's got
There
a
we go.
ROM from one of the machines that was field tested, and so he hooked me up with it. That one shows Apple when you fire it up, and
Oh, I
looks
got
for
dinosaurs.
more software over the network, which it won't find because I don't
Can I
have
jump
an
on
Oracle
him?
Media Object server.
I'll have
But
to shoot
this
him.
at least does something versus you get nothing on the screen.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next year I'll make it do something more interesting. but right now-
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Just so. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Plays pretty well. From what I remember on the Mac.
Well, honestly.
So he makes a little Pippin Kickstart disc.
So welcome back. On the Pippin,
It's clever.
you guys figure out the size of the key.
I figured that out.
There's buttons on the front of this thing.
360 bits.
And the Jaguar used 512-bit key.
Ah, that takes a little longer to crack.
Cool. I actually have these speakers too. These are
I
the
reinforced it, yeah. 18 hours.
deluxe Apple speakers. They sold back in 1995.
Private key, and we had a
Yeah. So the public key is
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go check out this guy's talk, who's part of the old homebrew club at Stanford, where Wozniak debuted the Apple II or Apple One. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Do some more, if not later today, maybe tomorrow. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you later.